the stakeholder base is robust. And finally, I want to inform that whatever it takes for our own regulatory oversight to be done, that we will try to put it in place and to ensure that the cleanup of Ogoni land is done according to rule. Thank you.
Thank you. We like experts here with us to also, tell us some things we need to know.
Good afternoon, members of the Roundtable and other participants here. I'm very grateful to be part of this meeting today. I want to ask a certain question. As we came in, we'll look at the map. Yeah, sorry, my name is Godfrey Martin. Yeah, I came in and I first went to the board to see what this map is all about. We expect for a meeting of this sort, a map of this nature should be able to display the present state of Ogoni land as it's drawn now. We just have boundaries and locations of where shall have activities. But I think from this imagery of this satellite map, we should be able to have seen impacted sites, and so that could form a basis for whatsoever will happen after now. Though we got from the project coordinator that they are still in discussion with UNEP to revalidate the UNEP reports, but then a map of such importance need to be in place for us to view what has happened, then progressively what is happening. Because certainly, as other participants may have spoken about, how do we keep Ogoni clean after the cleanup? So that a basis is also needed, and to compare with what will happen. I do want to say also that just like our local folklore or proverb, the tortoise that has been in the latrine pit for 6 days, on the 7th day when a ladder was thrown into it to come out of the distance, now there is a very high, please, I've been here for long, I want to get out. That is the situation generally with Ogoni people. And continuous lingering on the implementation of the report in whatsoever form, it's not going down well with the people. I had here on the sensitization of the communities. I just want to still say not much, much still need, to be done there. You had spoken and you had advised that how do you now take this message to the, to the women, to the men, the old men and the old women, the youth, so that they will actually, assess that from starting this time to this time, this kind of things may have, has been done. They need to be carried along so that they can own the project that they are, that has been said to be, to be theirs. Also, 9 months after the project, office being formed, monies that are still that are needed to be in the project accounts is still lying with the ministry. I think that's that doesn't show much concern with this project. I think something robust should be done so that money could be transferred, so that the Hyprep as a project will have access to funds to be able to do that which they have planned us to do. They can now say that they don't know what to do. I know that within a 9 months period is such a huge time for them to have put plans. Okay, now we just look at what is happening now, the health impact assessments on the people, and I also had hoped this should have been, because part of the emergency, this overall cleanup is an emergency issue, and that needed to have come far back, before now. The issue of water, to a people that their environment is completely, bad. It's urgent also. And if Hyprep will have their hands on their phones, I think it will, it will trigger and speed up the access of the people to water. Remember, the situation is being exacerbated by climatic change, and these people also don't have any other means of livelihood. That need to be, to be addressed and addressed urgently. Time is of essence here. We know remediation is time consuming, but then the basic things that needed to be on the ground as to sell the project to the community need, be done, and that could only be done if the funds is put at the disposal of the Hyprep Management Office. Maybe I should go.
Project coordinator and the doc, let's allow another person to talk, then you can, let's go to the other side. There is a civil society coalition that are putting their eyes on this cleanup, and the leader is here.
Thank you very much. Permit me to sit down, please. First and foremost, I think that so far I have to thank the Hyprep team. I have also thanked the president, the federal government, for the commitment. However, I have my fears as civil society people and as their representative. If you were conversant or you were looking at the papers some few days back, we went to the press. And in that press, you said you want to hear the ones that you are not prepared to hear, and the ones that you ought to hear. We went to the press and we said that Hyprep should be removed from the Ministry of Environment and should be domiciled in the petroleum, ministry. The reason is that we felt that the process is unduly delayed, particularly with response to the release of funds. There are basic things that ought to have taken place immediately. We acknowledge the fact that it's a scientific process. Yes, it's a scientific process. There are things that could be delayed. And, the needed things has to be done before it can take off. But there are things that ought to have been attended to immediately as a result of the urgency that this project demands. Take, for instance, let me just start from where you ended, sir. You see, it is not as if the Ogoni people are behaving like maybe the tortoise that has been in the pit for a long time. And when they said, no, in 1996 there was, an investigation that the report of UNEP confirmed. And in the place where that report was conducted, that investigation was conducted, there is no pipeline, there is no oil well, there is no place. And it was discovered that the underground water was already polluted. And so when UNEP came to give its report, it only confirmed the fears we had before. And so this is what is informing the people. When you tell the people that, look, you are consuming a water that is occupied or that contains benzene that is 900 times over the required thing. That's exactly the situation. It's not as if they are worried, but they are not worried, far more worried. And so the situation demands urgency. And we want to see our government responding in line with that kind of urgency. That's exactly what we are talking about. I am an Ogoni. I am from an oil-bearing community. I am from a place where you have one of your sites. I want to talk on the issue of sensitization. I keep saying, and I have told Celestine several times, that I don't think that the needed sensitization that we ought to do is what we have done. If we have done the sensitizations very seriously, by today, the time we are envisaging as civil society people, by today there would have been a reduction in the repollution. There would have been a serious reduction in, the zeal that the people are putting in, these artisanal refining. And so there is a need for us to take the issue of sensitization or more seriously than we are taking it now. The other thing is that as civil society group, we are very much concerned about monitoring the process to ensure that that desire that Hyprep, that the Ministry of Environment, the federal government wants, works out exactly, particularly in line with ensuring that the international best practices is being adopted here. Another thing we want to talk about is the fact that trainings There are basic trainings that we could do, that we have the expertise in. There are trainings we can't do.